Hello, good morning, happy Monday. How are you today? I hope you had an amazing, incredible, exciting weekend and you have started this week with a blast, with gratitude, with eagerness to kill it, to create something magnificent, to create memories, to create stories in your life. And in this video, I want to talk about falling in love with marketing. Something that I see a lot of individuals struggle when it comes to building a thriving business. Something that I have struggled myself when I was building my own coaching business. And it was this love and hate relationship, to be honest. And when I started creating content and marketing myself and putting myself out there and really showing up, I began back in March 2020. So it's been over 4 years now. And I remember the time when I created my very first short video for LinkedIn at the time. And I chose LinkedIn because at the time I didn't really resonate with Instagram. And somehow I was like, I want to work with people who hang out on a professional platform like LinkedIn. And I created a 1-minute video and it took me 2 hours to make that one single video. I was so incredibly nervous. I had no idea what I was doing. I was such a perfectionist and I felt like nothing was right and everything I was saying, it just didn't land the way I wanted it to land. And when I look back, it was such a journey, such a roller coaster of really falling out of love with marketing, because in the beginning I was quite excited. I was like, oh my God, this is something new. I need to learn a new skill. I don't really know how to do this. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know how to speak in front of a camera or how to write. I wasn't really a writer whatsoever, especially as not a native speaker in English. And yet then I started realizing that I was putting myself in some kind of a box, and I started feeling like I wasn't doing something that was coming from the right place. And I found myself rather restricted and in this very tight space where I couldn't be myself, or whenever I had to show up, I felt like I needed to put myself in a certain box. I felt like I was just not free. I was not free to express myself the way I wanted to express myself. And the reason behind was not just because of the platform that I chose, which is a huge part, but also because I felt like I needed to put myself in some kind of a professional setting to present myself a certain way, to look professional, and to do everything in a way that will sell. Now, that is exactly what we're going to talk about today, because it's really not the way it needs to be. And if you feel the same way, then this is going to be very, very beneficial for you. Hi, Barry. Hi, Boronat. Good to see you, whoever is joining. So, first and foremost, when it comes to falling in love with marketing, guess what you need to do? You need to fall in love with your work. Because if there is any disconnect between you and your work, between you and your zone of genius, between you and your craft, your art, your services, your products, what you're creating in this world, then you will not want to market it. You will not want to promote it. So first and foremost, you need to fall in love with your craft, with why you are doing this. What's the purpose? What's your mission? What's your vision? Why are you creating it? Why did you start this to begin with? Why did you start your business? Why? There was a very good reason why you began. There was a really good reason why you took that leap of faith. You put the effort. You decided to defy all the odds. You decided to bet on yourself. You decided to make an actual difference in the world. You decided to be the influencer in some way. You decided to have an impact. And because you decided to have an impact, and it doesn't really matter what kind of business you're running, whether it's coaching, whether it's, I don't know, like Barry, for example, he wants to change the world because he wants people to learn how to really photograph and how to be a master in utilizing cameras and enjoying photography, enjoying the craft of creating, capturing beautiful moments, creating art, essentially, utilizing the tool of a camera so that they can create masterpieces. Maybe you are a chef. How can you create masterpieces when you cook? Maybe you want to open a cafe. Maybe you want to, I don't know, become a really successful gym owner where celebrities come. So how can you fall in love with your vision so much so that marketing is no longer an obstacle or a challenge? Now, when marketing becomes no longer an obstacle is when you actually fall in love with it. And how do you fall in love with marketing? It's when you become it. When you realize that marketing is no different from you immersing yourself in your craft and serving your people and creating those masterpieces. It's no different from who you're being. So when I was in my roller coaster of the last 4+ years, I fell out of love with marketing because it felt like it's somehow not who I am. It felt icky. It felt like I wasn't sure what I was doing. It felt like I just want to coach people. I just want to spend my time and energy with the incredible human beings that I work with. I just want to focus my full attention to my clients and serving them well. I just want to focus on the things that I'm absolutely brilliant at. And I don't want to do the things that I'm not meant to be doing. I don't want to do things that are, it's not my strength. It's not my jam. It's not my thing. I don't want to keep on creating content simply because I have to, because it feels like I should, because it feels like it's an obligation. So I built that resentment against marketing and sales as if it was this burden that I have to do it. And I'm guessing that if you have been hitting your income ceiling, if you have been struggling in some way with marketing and sales in your business, then probably this is what you've been experiencing as well, where it feels like it's this thing that you need to do even though you don't want to do it. Now, when you really fall in love with your craft, when you really fall in love with yourself, when you really fall in love with what you're here to do, when you really fall in love with business, when you fall in love with the totality of your business, then marketing becomes a part of that. Hi, Santia and Clint, good to see you. Say hi, how are you doing? Would love to hear from you. So, when you fall in love with its totality, with your business's totality, with your craft, your art, then marketing is no longer this separate thing. And why is that? It's because it's who you are. You fall in love with your life. first and foremost. Hi, Santia. You fall in love with your life. You fall in love with your craft. You fall in love with taking action. You fall in love with the creation process. You fall in love with relationships, building relationships, showing up, talking to people. You fall in love with what a huge difference it actually makes, how it improves other people's lives, what it does to the world as a whole. And because you fall in love with all of that, then marketing is like, duh, of course I'm going to talk about it. Of course I'm going to promote my work. Of course I'm going to keep shouting from the rooftops because it's absolutely amazing. I love what I do. It has a purpose. It helps people. It serves people. It makes the world a better place, a more beautiful place, an easier place, whatever it is that you do. So then marketing is no longer this thing that I need to do. It's no longer this to-do on your list. It's no longer this separation between life itself. It's more organic. It becomes a part of your existence. It becomes obvious and a no-brainer for you to be like, duh, of course. Of course I market myself. Of course I talk about what I offer, my services, my products. Of course I talk to people who need it, who I know will benefit from it. Of course I show up because I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop creating. The reason why I'm talking about it right now is because I love it. I love talking to you guys. I love building relationships. I love seeing you succeed. I love seeing you thrive. I love seeing you feeling so in alignment with who you truly are that you can't just sit around and do nothing about it. Or you can't sit around and feel like, oh, but I have resistance around this thing. I have resistance to actually show up. I have resistance to, I want to just hide. I want to be a hermit. I don't want you to feel that way, because the thing is, when you fall in love with marketing, it no longer feels like a burden. So that's why marketing is not bad. There's this misconception that comes mainly from media, from news, from television, from radio. It's like, oh, all those advertisements. Or maybe you saw somebody who keeps on selling. Maybe they keep on creating content that's only about selling, and it makes you feel like, why do they keep on selling? Why does it have to be like this? It's so annoying. They keep on selling. If you feel this way, then subconsciously there is a belief within yourself that marketing is bad, that it's wrong to promote yourself, that it's wrong to sell, that you shouldn't be too much, that you shouldn't be too bright, that you shouldn't be too much in their faces, that you shouldn't be constantly talking about what you have to offer and how great your products and services are. And basically you're afraid of judgment. So there is this belief in you that marketing yourself is wrong. And unless you actually address this belief and instead fall in love with marketing and start treating it as just a part of your life, just a part of who you are, just a part of your business, in its totality, then you will constantly feel resistance around marketing yourself. Hi, Pooja. So, another thing that probably created this belief around marketing is bad, or marketing is not something that you want to do, marketing is separate from you, is if you have ever experienced how the corporate world works when it comes to different departments, then I can say from my own experience. Hi, Diary and Trey. Good to see you. From my own experience, when I was in the corporate world, every department was separate, obviously. So there was very little interconnectedness. People were not really hanging out between tech department and marketing department, finance department with, I don't know, design department, product department with HR department. There was very little interconnections, right? So then in your mind, when you started your business, or maybe you started your business from scratch and you never were in the corporate world to begin with, but somehow there was this separation between like, oh, but it's a different department. It's in a different folder on your laptop. It's separate from what you're doing when you're creating. It's separate from who you are. It's just a thing that you do. So that distinction, those different departments need to merge into one. When there's no longer separation between a sales department, marketing department, tech department, finance department, strategy department, HR department, there's no longer separation between any of those departments. Why? Because you are not separate within yourself. You are it all yourself. So why do you separate marketing as if it's not you? It is you. So when you reframe it like that, marketing no longer feels like this thing that you need to do, this thing that is an obligation, this thing that you must do in order to succeed in your work, in order to make a living, in order to promote your services and products. It no longer feels like it's just a to-do on your list. And so, it's no longer bad. It's no longer separate. Because here's the thing. When you start treating marketing as a lifestyle, when you start treating your business as a lifestyle, when you start treating sales as a lifestyle, it makes a huge difference. Because when you start treating your marketing, sales, business as a lifestyle, it feels effortless and easy. You cannot not do it. It's exciting. It's something that you want to keep doing. You want to create. It's a creative process. You're being challenged to keep doing awesome things. You keep being challenged to learn new skills. You keep being challenged to improve your skills, to improve your presentation skills, for example, to improve how you write, to improve how you talk, to improve your skills of coaching, to improve your pitching skills, whatever it is. Hi, Katerina. So, here's the thing. When you release all of this resistance, when you release resistance to market yourself because you have fallen in love with your work, then sharing your zone of genius is obvious. Sharing your zone of genius is a part of the game. Sharing your zone of genius is a no-brainer. Because you own your zone of genius. And you're like, I know that what I'm doing makes a difference. I know that what I'm talking about, what I'm promoting, what I'm serving, the products that I'm creating is actually adding value in the world. And because it's adding value in the world, then of course, I'm going to talk about it. Of course, I'm going to promote it. Of course, I'm going to collaborate with other people so that they also learn about it. Of course, I'm going to shout from the rooftops. Now, here's a thing. I know some people would be like, what if I don't want to promote my work on social media? What if I just don't want to be on social media? What if I want to do something completely different? Fine. Promote yourself in real life. Promote your work in real life. Build connections, relationships. Talk to people. Lead by example. Walk the talk. Talk about what you do. Talk about who you are. Talk about how you help people. Talk about what you're creating. Talk about your passions, because your business is your passion. Your business is your vision. Talk about your vision. Talk about your mission. Talk about everything that you're excited to be working on, because it's who you are. Talk about you. And when you talk this way, when you are passionate about who you are, about your life, about your work, about your business, then it's contagious and people want to listen and people are curious. And they're like, oh, wow, you really are on fire. You really are excited about what you're doing. And because you're excited about what you're doing, then I can't ignore it. I want to learn more. I want a piece of that too. I want to understand what it is that you're doing. I want to understand why you're so excited, because the fact that you are so excited makes me feel excited about it too. I want to also be so excited about what I do. So please tell me more. So by all means, if you don't feel like creating any content or marketing yourself on social media is not your jam, then do it otherwise. This is how referrals happen, because you are excited about your work, because you are making a difference, because you're serving people so very well. You're creating an excellent product and service that people can't ignore, that it's impossible to forget, that it's impossible to not talk about. Then word of mouth is probably the oldest strategy out there, right? Because you are doing your absolute best, and you're doing your absolute best because you're passionate about it. So, like I just mentioned, when you genuinely serve people, they feel seen and understood. They feel like you really get them. You feel like what you're talking about really makes sense. And the way you serve them really makes them feel like you truly, genuinely care about them, because you do. You genuinely serving them and caring about them makes you feel like your life has a purpose, makes you feel like you're making a difference. It makes you feel amazing about your day, about your life. You're contributing to a better world. And so, when you genuinely serve people, you add value to them. You help them live a better life. You make them feel like, I've got this. This is amazing. It's going in the right direction. It's actually improving my quality of life. It's making things easier for me. This thing that they buy from you, whatever it is, it's like, I'm so grateful that I invested in this. It makes such a difference. I'm so happy that I made this investment. I'm so grateful that I made it happen, even if it was scary. I'm so happy that I believed in myself, that I believed in this product, that I believed in this work, that I invested in. And all of that because you served them well. Hi, Toby. So, again, marketing is not separate from you. Marketing is a part of the totality of your work. Marketing is a part of who you are. If you don't promote yourself, if you don't promote your work, if you don't promote your zone of genius, your masterpieces, then nobody's gonna know about you. And so when I look back, when I felt resentment against marketing, simply because it became this obligation, it felt like, why can't people just come to me and I will just coach them and end of story. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to do. That's all I need to focus on. Why can't it be so easy that I just focus on this one thing that I'm excellent at? That was damaging my business so very much because, again, it sucked energy out of me so much. It didn't feel like I'm truly enjoying my life. It felt like there's this one thing that I do. I have calls with my clients. I serve them well. But really, it doesn't feel like I'm truly enjoying my life, that I'm truly squeezing the most out of life. Why? Because I didn't love all the other bits and pieces of my business. I didn't love taxes. I didn't like admin. I didn't like marketing. I didn't like sales. I just wanted to focus on one single thing, that is serving my people. So, as a result, I didn't love my life as much as I could have. I found all the distractions in the world to be like, instead of really showing up, I will go and watch a movie. Or I will go and study how to become a better coach even more. Hi, Louise. I would numb myself. I will go distract myself with improving my website. This is a huge one. So many business owners are like, okay, now I will spend time improving my website. And then they work on their website for a week, for 2, for a month, on and off, over and over and over again, tweaking those little few things over and over again. Stop that. Stop fooling yourself. Your website is not going to make the difference. Your website is not moving the needle. What moves the needle is when you freaking fall in love with your work, with yourself, with your life, with your business, with your marketing, with your sales, with everything. When you fall in love with the essence behind all of that, with the essence of who you are, then all of the stuff becomes exciting. It's no longer an obligation. There's no longer resistance because there's no longer separation between you and it. You are it. You are your marketing. And what does it mean to be your marketing? It means that you're expressing yourself fully, authentically, truthfully. You are being fully yourself. You don't hold yourself back. You speak your truth. You stand out as you are. You are the real, raw version of you. You're all of it. If you have been on my lives before, if you have seen these speeches before, you have seen me being super ecstatic and bubbly, and sometimes I'm very punchy and I really want you to wake up. And sometimes I'm very calm. It's the totality of who you are. You're allowed to be ecstatic and bubbly and very calm and very punchy all at the same time, in different phases, on different days. You're allowed to be yourself. That's what it means to be your marketing, being your true self. Hi, Frank. So good to see you. That's what it means to fall in love with your work. That's what it means to create from the inside out. That's what it means to truly be you and build a business from that place. From a place of, this is who I am, this is what I value, this is what I stand for, this is what I believe in, this is what I'm great at, this is what I'm genius at, and I'm going to freaking own it. I own it. I am it. I own it. And I'm not going to hide anymore. This is how you fall in love with marketing. And then, of course, we can talk about how you create content that is powerful, that comes with confidence, with authority. How you talk to people so that it is actually transformative, so that it's magnetic, so that it's activating, so that people don't just listen to you for the sake of listening and they feel motivated or inspired for a moment, and next thing you see, they slipped into their old patterns. What does it mean to focus on the outcomes that it's going to bring them? What does it mean to tell stories and to relate? All of that we can talk about in some other live that I will jump on and share with you. But in this live, I really want you to tap into this power of aligning. Alignment with your work, alignment with who you are, owning who you truly are, and no longer hiding in your cave, no longer working on your website endlessly, and once and for all, going out there, showing yourself, showing your genius, showing what an amazing human being you are. And those who need your products and services will be so freaking lucky to come across your work, to study with you, to work with you, to benefit from your craft and your product, your creation. Why? Because they will feel the energy behind that. It's not just about the creation itself. Hi, Vanessa. It's not just about that. It's about the energy behind your work. Is the energy behind the words that you say? Is the energy behind the creation? Is the energy behind your presentation skills? Is the energy that markets your craft. So good to see you. So that is it for today's live. I know that some of you have jumped in quite late, so you can watch a replay on YouTube or Instagram. I will post right away. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what you think, and see you very, very soon. Ciao, ciao.